Okay guys, for today's lesson I'm going to work a couple of each one for you. Let's start with number one. It's partially already done. Notice that the final expression for the area of the sum of the two things together is 2x plus 12. The two rectangles together, the sum of the area is 2x plus 12. Your job is to fill in every missing part. Okay, well we learned in the previous lesson that you multiply the number on the outside is the number that's on the outside of the parentheses that you multiply to what's on top, which is what's inside the parentheses. So the missing information in this one would be 2 times x, which would be 2x, and 2 times 6, which is 12. Okay, I'm going to show you number 2. This one, you're given what the area of each one is after being multiplied. So what is missing? How did we get 5x? Well, 5 times what will give me 5x? That would be x. 5 times what will give me 20? And that would be 4. So on the first blank, you're going to write down the distributive property version, 5 times x plus 4. And in the bottom blank, you're going to put what the final expression is once the two have been combined. Okay, so you will complete 3 and 4 the same way, fill in the missing parts, and then the two blanks. Okay, next section. Fill in the missing dimensions from the expression given. Okay, we're told on number 5 that 5x plus 35, that's your final expression once both figures, their areas have been combined. Okay, well how did we get to 5x plus 35? Well, let's start with filling in this. If we know that 5 has to be multiplied to something to get 5x plus 35, then you know what the inside of those parentheses must be. It has to be x plus 7, because isn't 5 times x 5x, and 5 times 7 35? Okay. So now we're going to fill in the area models. Remember, the one on the side is what's on the outside of the parentheses. Top, inside. And then inside is once you do your multiplication. 5 times x, 5x, 5 times 7, 35. Okay, and that's how you'll complete the rest of that section. Okay, and then the last, factor. That's when you figure out what the GCF, or greatest common factor, is. Well, start with number 11. What does 4 and 16 have in common? Well, the greatest common factor of 4 and 16 would be 4, because 4 will go into 16 and it will go into 4. Remember, it's the greatest common factor. I realize that 2 will also go into 4 and 16, but that's smaller than 4, so that's not your greatest common factor. So you're going to pull out of 4 since it's wanting us to factor. So basically you're going backwards. You're going to take the final expression and pull out the GCF, which is the number on the outside of the parentheses, and put inside the parentheses what is left. So if you pull a 4 out of 4x, that'll leave x. And 4 times what will give me 16? 4. Then you just check yourself. Do the distributive property mentally and make sure that you get back to the original. Well, 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 4 is 16, so we are correct. So just finish factoring the rest of that section. Let me know if you need anything.